Hello, my name is Ray Welsh and I am running for re-election as the school trustee for Elk Island Public Schools, representing the town of Vegreville and the west half of the county of Minburn. I have been a trustee for the past 6 years, over 2 terms in office. I feel that my extensive educational background as a teacher and administrator in Vegreville for 32 years and a master's degree in educational administration qualifies me to provide continued effective representation on the board. I believe strongly that education is the single most important function of any civilized society, and that Elk Island Public Schools provides one of the most comprehensive educational opportunities anywhere in the province of Alberta, or in the world for that matter. I have enjoyed seeing our students graduate from our schools and become successful in whatever field of endeavor they pursue. I believe that our teachers, support staff, and administrators provide excellent service in working together with the board to ensure that the education our students receive is second to none. As education in the province is currently undergoing significant changes, as outlined in the Government of Alberta's Inspiring Education, I very much want to be part of shaping education in Elk Island so that it continues to lead the way into the future. Currently, I feel that the biggest issue facing Elk Island Public Schools is a shortfall in funding from the provincial government. With the current funding formula and the elimination of funding for the Alberta Initiative for School Improvement and the loss of the fuel escalator grant for our buses, Elk Island found itself facing a $5 million reduction in funding for this school year. As a result, we were forced to utilize approximately $5 million from our dwindling reserves, and any continued erosion of these savings will result in a significant reduction in services in the coming years. We also undertook many cost-cutting measures at the administrative and governance level to mitigate as much of the impact on classrooms as possible. However, class sizes are in many cases too large, and this is not a problem only in Elk Island but across the province. It is our duty as a board to continue to lobby our local MLAs, the Minister of Education, and our Premier to provide sufficient funding so that students continue to receive the education to which they are entitled in classes that are an appropriate size for learning. Another issue facing EIPS, and one which I alluded to earlier in my comments, is the transformation of education in the province and the changes that are taking place not only in the classroom, but in governance and administration as well. With the new Education Act and the regulations which are currently being drafted to accompany this change in legislation, it will be the board and administration's duty to ensure that our policies and administrative procedures are current and in keeping with these changes. As we attempt to prepare our students as 21st century learners, we must ensure that they receive the skills and technical support necessary to allow them to be successful and ethical global citizens of the future. As society faces unprecedented rate of change, education must keep up with this change, and as a board, it is our duty to provide an education which is current, relevant, and engaging for all learners. Advocating for public education takes many forms and occurs at many different levels. I feel that we must advocate for public education at the community level to ensure that business and taxpayers see the importance of a well-funded public education available to all. As the majority of taxpayers in the province do not currently have children in school, it is important that they realize the benefits of contributing to the greater good of society through public education. I also feel that we must advocate for public education in all of our dealings with the government to foster a greater emphasis being placed on public education at the provincial level. I feel it is our responsibility to not only advocate for public education as a board, but also through the Alberta School Boards Association to voice the concerns of school boards across the province. We also need to have increased advocacy partnership with the Alberta Teachers Association to ensure our common goal of sound education for all students. I feel that it is the board's responsibility to engage the students, the public, and the community as a whole. Public consultation and student consultation regarding all aspects of education is necessary to ensure that we move towards the future in a unified fashion. Elk Island's recent reimagining of school boundaries in Sherwood Park is an excellent example of where public input helps shape the redrawing of school boundaries. Another excellent initiative was the implementation of student conferences, My Voice, My Future, in which students from throughout the division are invited to come together and voice their thoughts on the education they are receiving now and in the future. It is also important to maintain the board's involvement with various school councils and the Committee of School Councils to provide increased understanding on the part of the parents and the board with regard to concerns related to education in Elk Island schools. I also believe that as we move forward, we must increase the utilization of community support networks outside of the educational environment to provide wraparound services that give students the needed support and opportunities without duplication of services. Education must be a shared responsibility of everyone, and only through increased interaction and engagement by all members of society can we achieve our common goal. It takes a village to raise a child. I would like to thank the Elk Island and the ATA for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. Thanks for listening.